Hello and welcome to Focus on Liberia. Ansony Sieh, another edition of the Hour of Politics. Welcome and thank you for joining us. As always, we are broadcasting from our headquarters in Atlanta, and your network remains Focus on Liberia, educating, elevating, and promoting all things our dear country, Liberia. Politics, huh? 2022. Oh, yes. I'm in a good spirit for this one. Maybe I'm getting better at this. Sieh, you want to go there? Fellow Liberians, welcome, and let's get started here quickly. There's a gentleman on the screen showing his finger that he's trying to grab something, right? Is he trying to grab the presidency? Why is he trying to grab? You know, I like to do like this too. The topic, right? Oh, I almost forgot. Hey, thank you for reminding me, somebody. I'm getting old, right? Analysis of Cummings' brief statement after his court appearance. I have questions. Some I will answer, some I will leave for you, my audience, to answer. We are here for only an hour. I have 25 minutes. You have 35, and then we'll call it a night. And so welcome. There are many things that has been said today about this whole case of Cummings, talking about this writ of arrest, to which he responded today. He did respond, meaning he went to the court. And after that court appearance, he made a brief statement. And it is that statement that I want us to talk about. I will say my own, which is my analysis. And I have questions for you to answer. And I want to hear your take. And so let us get started. Hey, let us do it this way. Let's hear from the house's mouth. I like to quote people accurately. That's the right thing to do in this business. So let us listen to Mr. Cummings as he made a very brief statement after that court appearance today. Listen.
And to our participants, welcome, but most of all, thank you. Thank you for your support today. Thank you for your support yesterday, and thank you for your support tomorrow. You know, I think Mr. Ure and the ARP made a serious mistake. Big mistake. When they decided to sue me on these baseless charges. They didn't know they're making me more popular with Liberian people. They didn't realize that my reputation with the Liberian people is strong. And that no matter what they do or what they say, the Liberian people believe in me. So I want to thank the Liberian people today for their belief and support. And I know you, partisans of the ANC and our supporters, you represent the Liberian people. And your presence here today encourages me to keep fighting on behalf of the Liberian people. I will say, shame on all of our compatriots in the CPP who stay silent when this nonsense, this baseless suit was brought against me. But you know, God is working. And this will backfire. And this is the beginning of our path to victory in 2023. I also want to thank our colleagues from the Liberty Party for their support in the past, today, and tomorrow. So to our Liberty Party colleagues, thank you for your support as well. And my last and most important thank you is to the incoming First Lady. For her belief and her support, and for supporting me through thick and thin. So again, to all of the leadership of the party, to the partisans, I thank you all. Thank you very much. Be assured, I want you to know that we will continue to fight on behalf of Liberian people. For our young people, for our women, our people who are suffering. This fight is about you. We are fighting to change the system, to change this country, so that everybody can benefit. The people who are fighting us, they're benefiting from the system the way it is today. Just they and their families. And they know that when the Liberian people support us, and God bless us to become the leader of this country, we will change it so every Liberian can benefit. And this is what they are fighting. But we will fight back. We will not relent until we give the Liberian people the right leadership we deserve. So again, I thank you. God bless you and God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much.
All right, folks, there you have it. Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings, political leader of the Alternative National Congress, that is the ANC, made that very brief statement about 5 minutes after he walked out of the Supreme Court area today, or from the Monrovia City Court today. And I believe they went to their party headquarters, and there he made a brief statement. And I'm sure many of you were able to listen very, very attentively, and maybe some people did religiously as well. So congratulations for those of you who pay very good attention, because you will be given an opportunity to speak on the things that Mr. Cummings has said after I have given my little analysis. And like I said earlier, you will be asked some questions when you call to be able to speak to. So let me come with my own here, fellow Liberians. First of all, Mr. Cummings started with a big thank you to everyone. That was a good thing. When you are in a situation, I don't know whether we can bring more Ali in here that maybe you cannot handle, or whether or not you can handle it, and that having to be a situation, whoever came around to stand with you. He used the word fight, that they will fight. whoever came around to fight with you. It is always good to recognize them for whatever role you see them play and to also tell them thank you. All in all, what I'm saying is it is a good virtue on anybody's part for that matter to express thank you or gratitude to those who stand with them. That was something that he captured. It is good. Even if somebody else does it, it's a good thing. Now, going to the crux of the matter here is that Mr. Cummings' first statement, major statement after telling everybody thank you, was that Mr. Ure and the 8LP made a serious mistake. Serious mistake, Mr. Cummings. Are you sure of that? So let me ask you, listening to me, do you agree with Mr. Cummings that Benini Ure and the ALP did make a serious mistake by suing him? How is that a mistake? And this is one of the questions that you will be, asked when you're called to participate. Let me say this to you. No, I disagree with Mr. Cummings. They did not make a mistake. They did not make any serious mistake whatsoever. I think Mr. Cummings was trying to be political here. And why am I saying ALP and Ure did not make a mistake? Now, the ALP and Mr. Ure fell aggrieved, and this is not Ure and the ALP first time complaining about alteration of quote-unquote the framework document. You must understand now, in our system of government, when an individual is aggrieved, whether or not they are right or wrong, isn't the right thing to do is to go to the court of law? Are you listening to me? Are you paying attention to me? That is the right thing to do, to go to a court of law, especially when that one feels that they have exhausted all other means of remedy and that they don't get what they try to get in their own judgment that is the right thing that they deserve. The right thing to do is to go to court. Wasn't Mr. Cummings in support of Councillor Charles Bronskin when he went to court after the election? Is Mr. Bronskin now being hailed today by people in Liberia, especially those who believe in justice, that he did the right thing? They didn't make any mistake. ALP and Ure did the right thing. Now, somebody might be thinking, oh, is that what you would have done if you were in their shoe? No, it is not what I would have done. It is about what should be the right thing to do when an individual feels aggrieved. Especially if it is something according to them that borders on criminality. I am not saying either. What they're saying is the truth. The court will decide. The matter was sent to the committee. There was finding. ALP believed there was wrongdoing. The ANC believed no, there was no wrongdoing. And so they couldn't get what they were looking for. So it was the right thing to do to go. Would you have loved them to take up matters into their own hands? Is that what you have loved? Or would you have loved them to just let it die? The Liberian way. Just forget it. When matters are finalized in our courts, that is the best way to resolve any matter, especially one that an individual or a group of people feel very strong about. Let the court be able to make the final decision. So they did not make a mistake. And I'm saying I disagree with Cummings for saying they made a mistake. And I also say he was being political. So when he said that they made a mistake, What is he trying to suggest? Is he trying to suggest that because this is a political business and that they are in the political fight, they are in the political competition, and so this should have been resolved politically, and that taking political matter to court is the wrong thing to do? And that is a mistake. And so they, the ANC, or he, Mr. Alexander Cummings, because at some point later in his statement, he said this will backfire. That's what he said. When he said that they will backfire, in concert, he is also saying they will pay a price for it. And in fact, now I'm insinuating folks in the ANC also said it, that Europe will pay for this. So I disagree. I just beg to differ, Mr. Cummings. I just beg to differ with the people in the ANC. Let the man go to court. And by the way, Mr. Cummings did the right thing by showing up at the court to listen, to hear what was in this particular writ of arrest. What happened? He came out of the court. He was a free man. He was not handcuffed. He was not put in jail. Is he not a free man? Do they not feel a sense of victory right now as we speak? Where you think this matter can be taken or should be taken, in order for you, Mr. Cummings, and the ANC to feel liberated? Where? To the Zobuj? Where? To the committee where the issues were sent and they came up with their finding and you having to disagree that nothing has changed? Where? It has to be the court, man. So let me leave it and make progress here, because the 2022, I promise not to be too long. Let's come to my next issue here. Cummings also said they have decided to sue all on baseless charges. So, Mr. Cummings, if these charges are baseless, in your own words, where will you have baseless charges being taken? Not to court, so they can be deemed as baseless, reckless, and useless and meaningless? Where will you love these baseless charges to be taken? To grandma? To grandpa? Oh, fellow Liberians, come on. We got to put on our thinking cap here. They have decided to sue us on baseless charges. A political statement. But Mr. Cummings, I'm a team on disagreement. They did the right thing by taking you to court. You did the right thing by going to court. Today, as we speak, you are a free man. I don't know the outcome, whether this case is finalized. I don't want to believe so. But they have filed a case. They prayed for a writ of arrest. You went there. You came back. No one is throwing blows right now. Look. These are the opportunities that were denied many people in our country that contributed to the Civil War. So when people are aggrieved, they should be given the opportunity to go to court. We should all encourage that and not demonize them just because we disagree with them, just because we have political differences to them. It is always and will always be the right thing for an individual to take any matter to court that they feel great about. That is the right thing to do. So to have said that it was a mistake, it was just an unfortunate statement. Maybe he was just being political, and I will not swallow it. Progress being made here. He went so far by saying, by doing so, they are making me more popular with the Liberian people. Mr. Cummings said that also. Let me ask you a question. Is Mr. Cummings right on that one? Do I agree with him on this one? Oh, yes, I agree with him on this one. Hey, this is focus on Liberia. Yeah, what me? We are focusing on Liberia. We're not focusing on individuals. Individuals have always been our problem. So let us focus on Liberia. Let us focus on the issues. I do agree with Cummings here. By doing this, they are making me popular or more popular to the Liberian people, he said. So, this jury and the ALP guys are making you popular, and then you turn around, you say they make a mistake. How can somebody make a mistake and at the same time you want to take credit for that which they have done, which having to be a mistake according to you, and yet you benefit from it? Look, I'm a team and agreement here. When you take your political opponent to court, they get all of the attention in the media. Everybody wants to hear from them. Everybody wants to know who is being talked about. What is this person all about? Who does this person want to be in the nation? You have given this person a huge opportunity and platform for almost everybody to want to know about this person, what they want, and who they also want to be. So I agree with Cummings 100% that suing him or praying for a writ of arrest, for him to be arrested based on political differences, and that he was taken to court, which was more like a bluff. He walked out. He's a free man. Apparently, he swallowed fufu today. You make this man popular. So Cummings, I don't want to waste time on this one. I couldn't agree with you more. And it is not only about Cummings. When that happens to just about any political actor, when that person is taken to court, when that person is put into prison, now it's left with that individual, how they can capitalize on what their opponent probably might have intended for something unfortunate or like a miss of fortune, how they will be able to capitalize on it. They can gain political dividend from it. They can gain political capital from it. So yes, I agree. Doing so by the ALP and URE actually brought some popularity to Mr. Cummings and is going to make him popular to the Liberian people. Because here's the thing, folks. Who is Benina URE? What is this guy record? Who do we know him to be? This guy and Taylor brought a company that were charging our people, me included, fellow Liberians, 65 United States dollars for a SIM card that's supposed to be, for like $5 at a time or $0. As we speak, my understanding is that some companies are even giving SIM card out free. It's been sold for $3 in some places, $5 in some places. But when they brought Lone Star Corporation, they sent Benina URE. They robbed our people. There was some huge economic crimes. But that is besides that. This guy was on the United Nations sanction list. This guy is being accused of multiple human rights violations, including the trailing of guns that were used, if that accusation is correct, to slaughter so many Liberian people. This is a kind of man we are talking about, taking somebody else to court. So, of course, it has to be able to make him popular. But Mr. Cummings, here is my challenge to you. How have you been able to make use of this brilliant opportunity, the huge media platform that has just been placed at your feet? What do you do with it? Where are your strategies? They are all baby, just making noise and fighting chicken fight on social media. Second, and by the way, I'm fighting for my country, fellow Liberians. So, Cummings went further, folks, and he said, my reputation with the Liberian people is strong. I have a question there. Is that a true statement? That his reputation with the Liberian people is strong. On this one, I give it 50-50. I'm a truth teller to the best of my ability. All right? Yes, there are Liberians who believe Mr. Cummings is a decent and outstanding Liberian, and I happen to believe one of those who believe that he's a decent and outstanding Liberian. But whether or not his reputation is stronger with the Liberian people, I am not in any of those boxes. I want to share an agreement that he is an outstanding Liberian, a good man. But what are this statement that he made, that my reputation with the Liberian people is strong? Fellow Liberians, I want to believe it depends on who you talk to. If you are talking to folks in the ANC, I guarantee you, fellow Liberians, they will say, oh yes, Cummings' reputation with the Liberian people is strong. And there are reason for people to also believe that. In our nation, based on following of things, if you are outside of government, and chances are that you will maintain some good reputation in your community if you have not been involved in anything nefarious, anything that undermines the interests, the stability of anything to the Liberian people. All right. Yes, you will have a good reputation, and that will be strong with the Liberian people. So in Cummings' case, he has now served in government. I don't know of any business dealings in Liberia that is having adverse effects or economic impact in a negative sense on the Liberian people. I do not know that. So to those Liberians who see him that way, who understand him that way, to them, his reputation is strong, especially his supporters, the ANCers, those in the global, and they get ANC Global, they get the Cummings Foundation, they get ANC, the political party. These group of Liberians who believe in Cummings, his supporters, yes, his reputation, is strong with the Liberian people because they believe he has not harmed them in any way. But for those Liberians who either feel threatened by his presence in the political arena, those Liberians who are his opponents, people in the ALP, for example, they don't think he has any strong reputation with the Liberian people. The United Party, for that matter, not all of them, some of them, and I'm not saying that a good number of them, just because, and the reason is that this is the foolishness about these people that support these politicians, right? There are things that they don't just believe, but they will say it, they will carry it, they will taught it, they will propagate it, all because it benefits the individual they support. So there are some people who will just accept this as true, even though deep down in their minds and heart, that is not true, that Cummings is a bad guy and that he does not have any strong reputation. And underline the word reputation. Reputation may be bad, may be good. All right? So what reputation does Cummings have? Does he have a bad reputation? Has he done anything negative to the Liberian people? To the knowledge of most Liberians? Somebody will say no. Somebody will say yes. The one who says yeah will be from the ALP. The one who will say yeah will come from the Unity Party. That person might be a Bwaka supporter. That person might be from the Dillon and Yumley wing of the opposition Liberty Party. These people believe Cummings fingered the document, knew what right, altered the document. And so that does not put him in a strong reputation with the Liberian people. So here's the next thing then. Cummings went on to say, no matter what the Liberian people believe in me. Is that a true statement? No matter what happened, the Liberian people believe in him. Not all the Liberian people will believe in him no matter what. I'm sure he did not say all the Liberian people. That was a political statement. He said, no matter what, the Liberian people believe in me. There are some Liberians that will believe in him no matter what, just as some Liberians will believe in President Weah no matter what, just as some Liberians will believe in a Benny Nayure no matter what, just as some Liberians will believe in a Bwaka no matter what, just as some Liberians will believe in just about anybody no matter what, either because of political affiliation, political connection, family tie, tribal affiliation, and the list goes on, fellow Liberians. Some people will always believe in somebody no matter what. So yes, that is a true statement, but that is not all the Liberian people. So let me progress here quickly. Cummings went on also to say, I will say shame on our compatriots in the CPP who stay silent when all this nonsense was going on. And many of you heard that word. He called it nonsense. So Mr. Cummings has the guts this time to say shame on our compatriots in the CPP who stayed silent when all the nonsense was going on and did not say anything. Did Alexander Cummings misspeak here? That is the question I'm asking, and that is the question I'm going to analyze for you. And in no time, I will be opening the phone lines for you to participate. What prompted Cummings to say his compatriots in the CPP, shame on them for staying silent? First of all, it's not their right to stay silent. Anybody's right to stay silent. And you're going to say shame on somebody because they chose to be silent? And you say shame on them? Are you heard that somebody is silent, which is their right? Were you in the CPP so that everybody will fight for you? Do you not even know the people you went in this political marriage with in the first place? You didn't even trust them, and you know that. And now you come back, the very people you didn't trust, you knew what would have become of them, what they would have done anyway. They are doing what is not a surprise to you, Mr. Cummings. And you say, shame on them? Do you really mean to say that? I see a crazy man in the street. Terrible analogy, but I'm going to give it anyway. I know that because of the madness, this person has the capacity to do something ugly to me. And yeah, he does it. And I'm thinking, I'm surprised he did that. Seriously? Look, of all of the things that have been said about the URE by the ANC, rightfully so, I can say that for a fact, we called the press conference of Aloysius to a powerful statement that was devastating, that sent shockwaves into the spine of URE, his family, and everyone connected to him. That statement, politically speaking, was toxic. It was like a cancer released to him and his family and all those affiliated with him. You did that. And because all coming is saying, I'm surprised, shame on URE for not standing for me, shame on Bwaka for not standing for me. That is basically what he's saying. Shame on Dillon for not speaking for me, shame on Nyambli for not speaking. You are in a political fight and you expect your opponents to fight for you, to talk for you? Is that why you actually believe, Mr. Cummings? Or are you just saying something because you want to be heard? Or are you just venting out your frustration about something I would think you should have known in the first place? Liberians, are you listening to me? You know, the way we try to have you think out of the box, you know, sometimes we are not used to it. And we're not going to apologize. I hear many Liberians say, oh, our mindset. And I'm one person who continue to tell people, you give me a break with your mindset something. When you came to America, did somebody take you to a school to teach you about mindset? The system here. You show up to the bank, you see everybody in line, you fall in line. You were not taught how to fall in line. You saw it with your eyes. That was the system that was put into place. So it became part of your routine as a resident of the United States. And you people telling me, oh, Liberian mindset. Be like focus on Liberia. Watch focus on Liberia. Listen to focus on Liberia. It will cost you some of your nerves because you got to put some thought in it before you understand it. It is not your G's and fries kind of analysis and presentation. It's not it. This is solid. This is Liberia. This is a country you need to be proud of, but let me not go off topic. But sometimes we need to interact with our people because we are all in this together and we have to all drive alone. It doesn't make us to look better than you. It's just a matter of trying to say, hey, can we think about it this way, in a different way this time? Maybe it will get us a different result. So back to the issue. Were you expecting Bwaka, your opponent, to be speaking for you? Are you new to the business of politics? Have you not lived in America where we've seen politics become so vicious enough? Cutthroat deals? Have you not heard about opposition research where people look for dirt to throw it on their opponents to increase their chances to succeed? And you're talking here like a little child whining in the wilderness? Shame on my competitor in the CPP for not speaking while the nonsense was going on. Also, you know that the CPP was a nonsense. Because it's not just the allegations that you are considering nonsense that is actually nonsense. The actual nonsense is the idea of going into a collaborations where individuals who have bankrupt characters, who through the national budget looked at our country, criminally stole from our people, using the budget as a yardstick, and you went in bed with them. And you expected these people to speak for you? And you people supposed to be in a competition? Didn't you talk about primary? Where is the primary now? It's in limbo. They are leaving. So, Mr. Cummings, it was a useless statement to me. So let us come to the crumbs of the mantle here. Let me stop beating on this guy a little bit. So, folks, here we are. He said it will backfire, and he went on to say, this will be the beginning of our 2023 victory. Mr. Cummings, how is just being issued a little lawsuit, and, I know they made a criminal lawsuit, calling for your arrest and all that. This is politics. Get used to it, brother. And out of a sudden, he said, this is the beginning of, how is that a beginning of your victory? Because you were supposed to be taken to jail. There was an arrest warrant on your life that could possibly take you into jail. And out of a sudden, they I don't know what to make of it. I don't just see the connection. But hey, I know what he's talking. He's saying, this is politics. He's trying to inspire his people. But here is the whole thing that Mr. Cummings makes. This is the whole thing he makes, which will conclude my analysis for me to bring my people in here quickly. So, Mr. Cummings is crying, talking about shame on his competitors for not speaking for him. Interesting. Let me ask all of us a question. Does Mr. Cummings say shame on those who did not speak for Achin Popon when he was set on fire? I didn't see that courage, that righteous anger, that indignation. Recruitment, you probably should not let me to go sat here now. That indignation, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I didn't see that anger. Achin Popon, this guy was protesting for pay. And he used extraordinary means and set himself on fire. I didn't hear Mr. Cummings say shame on those who did not advocate, who did not talk for Achin Popon. I have now heard Cummings say shame on those who have not spoken and advocated for the 250,000 people that were killed as a result of the war. I have not heard Mr. Cummings say to us, to Liberians, shame on those who have not spoken for the lives that we all lost, who paid the ultimate price for the opportunity we have today to be alive. When was the last time he said shame on those people who have not advocated for war crime code, who have remained silent on the war and economic crime code? I have not heard him. Maybe he should talk about that. I have not heard Mr. Cummings say shame on those who have not spoken about the little girl whom this rapist took a razor blade, and he has to use a razor blade on her private part so that he will have an opening. I have not heard Mr. Cummings say shame on those who did not speak about that. I did not hear Mr. Cummings say shame on those who did not speak for Taiwan in the ANC. I did not hear Cummings say shame on those who did not speak for Fubu Ama hearings, when in the very CPP, they put other candidates in the very district he was running. Whatever Mako that went on there, he did not raise his voice enough to say shame on these people for what they did. Oh, now it's about Cummings. And now Cummings has the righteous indignation to say shame on those who did not speak for him. Brother, that is not about you. This cannot be about you. This is about our country. For we all should be fighting collectively, irrespective of where we find ourselves in these political clubs. That's actually what they are. They are not political parties because they are headed by individuals who are not challenged at all. Where was that righteous indignation? Where is that righteous indignation when this current government passed a budget in which they gave each county just $200,000 and gave the president of Liberia nearly $6 million for his office? Where was that righteous indignation for Cummings and his political party to say, Lord, we will not stomach this, and shame on any Liberian who will not speak about this broad day robbery of our people? President Weah, who doesn't write anything, Magay, who doesn't write anything. The Ministry of Presidential Affairs is being given 508,000 United States dollars for stationery only, and the Ministry of Education, that should be educating our people, gets only 85,000 for stationery. I did not hear Mr. Cummings say, shame on these people who crafted this budget. I did not hear Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings is saying, shame on his compatriots in the CPP for not speaking for nonsense in the CPP because it affects him now. That's how I do it. And some of you just don't like it. But you will love me. You will love me. You are just in a little bubble. And that bubble is not going to help you. It's going to do one thing for you. It's going to frustrate you. It's going to disappoint you because it's not realistic. It's a mirage. It's for a time bomb. You are in these little clubs where they just make noise, they fight their friends and all of that. They are not focused in our country. You don't even care to ask them for what plans they have. But here are the missed opportunities. When Mr. Cummings came out of that court, the whole nation Liberia was waiting to hear from Mr. Cummings. The greatest political opportunity any political actor can pray for came his way. What did he do with it? He spoke for only 5 minutes. Pour me in that opportunity. Give me that opportunity. Me taken to court for my involvement with politics to become president, and I'm being sent to court on what I consider as frivolous, and that which my opponent intended did not happen. And the whole nation wants to listen to me. And thousands of Liberians across the world are listening. They want to hear what I need to say. That was the time for Cummings to man that podium instead of holding a microphone as though he was in a refugee camp. When I look at the audience there, they were not about 200 people. They were less than 200 people. I mean, you grab a bigger microphone because of 200 people in a little space? Seriously? Man that podium. Talk about the bigger issue. Talk about the justice system, because what he just experienced is just a symptom of the bigger problems that the ordinary people in Liberia face every day. That is what Yakpa goes through. There are people who are in prison as we speak, who are not giving their days in court. That is what came to his doorstep. The reason he's a free man today and maybe not in jail, because he's a big man in our country. He's being sued by quote-unquote another millionaire. Our understanding is that Mr. Cummings is a millionaire. Our understanding also is that what's his name? Ure is a millionaire. Millionaire sue millionaire. Is that a big deal? But it has created a political opportunity for him. If I were in Cummings' shoe, first of all, I would address the bigger problem in our judicial system. This is what the ordinary man goes through. This is what the ordinary woman goes through. You just got a little something, you just smell it. He should have used that opportunity to address and how he Cummings, when become president, will reform the judicial system, will reform the justice system. That was that brilliant opportunity. He should have, gone above the frail. He didn't do that. That was the opportunity also for Liberians to hear from him what he would do differently. The only thing he said, they are all doing this to stop us. We will fight. How he will fight, what he will fight with, he didn't explain that. So, folks, Mr. Cummings missed so much opportunity. Mr. Cummings should have used that opportunity to sell himself, to tell the Liberian people how he will lead our country differently, what plans he has for our country. That is what he should have done instead of talking and accusing government of having something to do with, for Christ's sake. In our jurisprudence, when somebody prays for a writ of arrest, government has to be involved. If you were president, Mr. Cummings, if somebody had prayed for a writ of arrest and it was granted by a judge, is it the judge's right to grant and non-grant? What are the judges run? That is the judicial process. It has nothing to do with government. It has everything to do with what our judicial system is. Now, you could have used that system, that opportunity to talk about the unfairness of the system, how some individuals take advantage of the system, the loopholes in the system, and exploit it for personal gain. That is the opportunity that I have provided itself, Mr. Cummings, and you did not make use of it. Who are your advisors? Who are your strategists? I'm not saying this to Cummings alone. I'm saying this to any political actor right now listening to me. Who are these people you're paying this kind of money, man? Even if you don't pay them, what are they doing in your surrounding? They don't have eyes to see what opportunities lie there in the political spheres. They don't have eyes to see, to tell you this is an opportunity to sell yourself, to sell your plans, rise above the frail, and tell the Liberian people that you are the bigger person here. Start crying about a Bwaka didn't speak for you, and I'm making it simplistic for you, little fellow Liberians. Crying that Cummings did not speak for you, crying that Yombly did not speak for you, crying that DeLon did not speak for you, and all other people who are not with you in this political fiasco fight that you guys are in, crying that they're not for you. You know they're not for you. You want to come and cry about this? That was the opportunity to have demonstrated your anger for why the Liberian people continue to go through in our justice system and how you will change it. That was the opportunity to have taken the fight toward the Liberian government, to draw the contrast between what a possible Cummings government would look like compared to what a Rocky government looks like. And you didn't do it. I don't know when you ever get this opportunity again. Liberian politics are such that these politicians don't go for debate. So I don't know when you're going to do it. Well, let me leave it there. Let me take a break and let me bring you in. And that is how we do it here at Focus on Liberia. I have done my analysis. I don't want to take too much of that time. So I will take a short break. When I come back, the phone number is open right now as we speak. Let me double check it. Did I cause trouble here? Bear with me. Let me see quickly. Yeah, the phone number is all set, fellow Liberians. Let me display it on the screen. It is time for you to call. We are ready to take your calls. We are ready to take your calls. This is the number. I will read it for you carefully. 605-313-6004. Enter the call 791-403 pound. When you call, the most we will give you will be a minute, because I'm sure This thing is hot. I make it hot. I confuse people. I provoke people thinking. Some are mad. Some are happy. Some are in the middle. They don't know how to handle me. So call, and you have a minute to speak. And if you waste time when your minute is over, I'll cut you off, because I'm fighting for a country that you love and that I love. And let's do it. That's the number to call. I'm taking that break. When I call back, I want to see people line up and willing to talk business. So we are taking that break, fellow Liberians, and we will be right back.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jah.
Dennis Jah, thank you, my loyal partner. Folks, it is time for you to call. And I see people are all set and fired up to talk. And I will give you your meaning. And please be respectful of that meaning. Be as brief as possible so that we can give all our Liberians the opportunity to talk quickly. But before I take your call, there are some people that help us to pay the bills here. Focus on Liberia, and here we have it. Kanakiaj is in the money transfer business. Kanakiaj is a Liberian-owned business. It's in the business of sending money to Liberia. Fast and easy. Go to www.kanakiaj.com and start sending money to Liberia right away. Kanakiaj is the way to send money to Liberia. Tomorrow here at Focus on Liberia, our program Roundtable Africa, we will be doing part 2 of a topic that was provocative that we had here, religion and development in Africa 2.0. Edward Amara and Sekou Keller will be here. I will be moderating tomorrow. This guy says something. I'm going to push them to their limit, and they're going to deliver. You don't want to miss it. Friday this week, we will have an interview with a sister, Margaret Dyson. Margaret will be here. She is actively in Liberian politics, and she is in the diaspora. We want to pick her mind, why she's in this. What is she looking for? What has provoked her? What does she hope to see? Don't miss it. Ansony Sieh will be here. And you know, sometimes I get ruthless, but I'm so kind. Also, here, I Focus on Liberia. He's running for president. He's a lawyer. He has been a voice for justice in Liberia. His name is Tiawonse Gonglo. He will be here on Saturday this week. That is the 8th, and that will be 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. GMT in Liberia. Dennis Baku Kenyuja will lead, and I will back him off, and we will interview him. Whether he got plans for Liberia, or he just coming like most people came in the past to just sing for us. I don't like people who sing when they want to run for president. Friday, there's a debate. Oh, what kind of debate again? Friday night debate, you do not want to miss it. Dennis Jah will be here, and I will be here. The guy name is Gamonde Clayton. He is a seditious, and he will be the pro, and the con will be Maurice Kroma. You want to know what they're debating? We heard about a presidential scholarship headed by Nathaniel Mangale. We will discuss the pros and cons. And also, we have government officials in government as we speak. For example, the Minister of Education, the Minister of Health, they have businesses in Liberia. In the very sector they are serving in government, and many others. Is there anything wrong with that? We will be discussing the pros and cons. More shows to come. Follow us at Focus on Liberia, folks. Thank you for your patience there. Let's go to the cause here. They are all lined up here. They are all fired up. They are fired up. I like them. Oh, all right. Let's get started. The first person to hear from here, who called first, is this gentleman from Houston, Texas. And you have a minute. Hold on there. Let's hear you quickly. So please be brief as much as possible. Let's hear you quickly. Are you there?
Yeah, hello?
Yes, please speak a little louder and let us hear you.
Oh, hi. This is Dwight Porter again, calling from Texas. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, great. Yeah, I saw you took your time and went through Cummings' 5 minutes of mostly he was thanking his supporters for being supportive of him during these times. But you expected him to come out there and speak to every plight that Liberians are going through. And I think that's a poor analysis he's coming up with. You don't expect a man who was just dragged into a court by someone who has a clouded personality of jury for him to come and speak to all of the plights that Liberians are going through. You have to understand this is something this man has never been through. He's never been arrested. He's never been taken to court. He's never been handcuffed. And you're expecting him to come and speak to every bread and butter issue. I think you cherry pick a lot of time when you're speaking about Mr. Cummings. Number one thing you said he never spoke about when it came to the corruption that's going on. But go back in a couple of months ago when the $30,000 was issued to representatives and senators. Mr. Cummings spoke against that, and that brought a rift between him and DeLong, and him and other representatives and lawmakers. He even told them to return the $30,000. I'm sure you are aware of that. But you always keep coming and cherry picking on what Mr. Cummings is not saying. And Mr. Cummings has a plan out there. Tell me what other political party or politicians have laid out a plan since the inception of, let's go back to 2005 elections when Sieh was running. Did she lay out any plan? Hello?
Thank you for your contribution. Let's hear from another person.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, right. There I go. There are a lot of people calling. You know, you make your point. I said my own. Let's hear from Jimmy Eastman. Jimmy, let's hear you.
Hey, Ansony.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I understand where you're coming from. Okay. Now, I a little bit disagree with my family member who just called. But I want to say that you have to know when to seize the moment. You're very right. I remember when Ellen Johnson got out of jail, and she today that picture is iconic in the struggle. You see her with her fist up and her hip, elbow, her hands on her hip. There are times when you have to seize the opportunity.
Yeah.
Just like Dillon did. Dillon did the same when he was given the opportunity to demonstrate his revolt, his opposition. You have to be very vehement because that's what Liberian people take to. When you come out like that, come out riding, come out rousing, rouse the crowd, raise their interest, just like how Trump used to do with his supporters. You have to pump them up. And that was a great opportunity for you to pump them up. But it takes experience, you know, and you got to be a diehard. You got to be one who's used to being in the trenches. But I think that we'll see more to come. But that was a great opportunity for him to pump up his support. And
Jimmy, thank you so very much. You know, if you look at that situation, another thing I was looking for was I thought I would have seen a huge crowd. I mean, for men at Europe to be suing somebody and coming down, going to the court and coming from there, he's a free man. I remember during the CDC time when they were in opposition, they took some of these guys to court, and you could see the crowd, and something I was looking for. You know, my eyes are sharper than most people's eyes. I'm not bragging, and so I see things differently. So I understand. And Jimmy, the gentleman who called earlier, you know, this is what they do. You know, they will come and justify for these people. They will not even see the truth we say. And you know, he say I'm cherry picking. Well, if I am, that's my job. And I appreciate that people also critique me. You know, we should be that way. We should accept that. So, Jimmy, thank you. We got a lot of calls. Let's hear from Aliu Kamara. Mr. Kamara, you have a minute quickly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, I myself here, I heard you take shots at brother, brother, and others. Call them all kinds of names. But the problem with our supporters, once we hear something negative about our own opposition, then somebody is cherry picking immediately.
Yeah.
But this is what the Siblings focus on Liberia from another show where the CEO, they actually tell the callers what to say. If you don't say what he wants you to say, they'll block you. Him and his panelists, they'll block you because you said something to them. But focus on Africa can take the hit. That's why they're in politics. But let me just say, this is the reason why we continue to call Mr. Cummings and his people rookies. Getting out of court on bond is not a victory. It just made it free you temporarily until your case can be heard. I do not see why they had a whole rally claiming that this is a victory. My thing about this thing, though, is why all of the time people were attacking Bishop Blocker? Why is it that every time Cummings goes after Bishop Blocker, something happens? In Nimba County in recently, when Hassan Billete, uses money to break the Liberty Party apart, knowing that there's confusion in the Liberty Party, Arizona Cummings overwhelmingly accepted Hassan Billete and his faction of the Liberty Party endorsement. Joseph Blocker did not say anything. Did Arizona Cummings come out to condemn Joseph Blocker for not speaking for the fact that there was problems in the LP? Why is it that when all Liberian parties and ANC have problems, then Joseph Blocker must speak? You see, this infallibility where Arizona Cummings feel that he's untouchable, he's just a big guy that people must recognize, is getting a little
and Mr. Aliu, let me add this to it, right? When he was speaking, you notice that he thanked the Liberty Party wing that support him, and the other side of the Liberty Party that are supporting him, he didn't say anything. So you see, this is a party that is divided, and you people are all part of the problem, and you chose to take that other side, thank you, because they are supporting you. That's being selective. That does not help the crisis in any way. How are you in any way a solution here? You want to be the big man? Be the big man. Go ahead.
Look, throughout this guy, people, I don't know, man. People go around showing this guy to be a clean hand. Let me tell you, Ansony, before I leave you my brother, this guy is not a clean hand. Even when Liberty Party, when the party chairperson of Liberty Party was disrespecting the chairman of the political party, Arizona Cummings decided to use that opportunity to go to the People Party headquarters and just to get support from amongst them. We also know that this
Aliu, let me push back on that. How come you guys now saying Cummings is this dirty hand man? What has he done to prove that he's a dirty? Now you are accusing Cummings of being a dirty hand man. What will you say about Benny Nayure? Is he clean? That you're doing business with? What guy is doing business with?
Benny Nayure is clean. Benny Nayure is clean. And you know what? Benny Nayure
is clean, Aliu, and Cummings is dirty?
Yes.
Well, come on, Aliu. You see the hypocrisy that you guys carry on here?
Let me tell you why Benny Nayure is clean. Only a court of competent jurisdiction can tell me, Aliu Kamara, whether somebody is dirty.
So what competent court of jurisdiction told you that Cummings is dirty? Let me use your own stand. I agree with that. What court told you that Cummings is dirty?
But we are looking at the recent happening.
Oh, come on, Ali. You just said the court.
Focus on Africa. But let me learn this.
Okay.
Focus on Africa.
Focus on Liberia. Come on, Ali. You've been here long enough to know that.
Yeah. Focus on Liberia have accepted that there were alterations done on the document.
That is correct.
Okay?
That is correct.
That is criminal. That is dirty. That's evidence.
Has it been decided by the court? Has that been decided by the court?
The ANC admitted. They call it cosmetic.
But you said the court has to decide. That's the standard we're using now. Put you on that scale and you're fighting back.
Now listen. Who admitted in the Benny Nayure camp that Benny Nayure is dirty? Do you know one person among Benny Nayure people who admitted that Benny Nayure is dirty? In this case, the Secretary General of the ANC said that they were.
So it's not a court again that can make that final decision whether someone is dirty or not.
No. You're not getting to the point. I told you we will believe in Joseph Blocker. When we're speaking, you listen because we only speak with wisdom. And a lot of the time, I understand it can be difficult for people to understand.
Yeah, I see the wisdom. The wisdom is that what is his name? Benny Nayure is clean and Cummings is dirty, even though we know Benny Nayure is being accused of running gun, doing dirty businesses and all that.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
My man, I have to take other callers, man.
Yeah, but you're not letting me. You're not letting me let my.
Yeah, please conclude.
Anybody there, let my point. You got to give me the chance to let my point. Okay. Better not use dirtiness is speculation. And it's not coming dirtiness. We have evidence. We have people from the Liberty Party who said that Arizona Cummings in that man called Hassan Benzi give them $500 each to go to Gaza.
But Aliyu, if that is true, Aliyu, if that is true, in politics, people spend money. What is wrong with that?
But listen, though.
Is it wrong to spend money to sway people your way in politics?
No. It's a manner in which you spend money. George Calando came up today on Sport TV and said that he was called by the ANC camp that he should go and talk to Joseph Walker to step out of the race. They were going to give Joseph Walker $5 million.
If that is true, what is wrong? What is wrong with buying somebody out of the race? What is wrong with that, Aliyu?
You're talking about clean hands.
I'm asking you a question. The man is using clean money. If what you are saying is the case, right? He's using clean money to say, hey, get out of the way, get a decent retirement, and spend some time with your family. How is that dirty?
Remember now, under our laws, bribery is a crime. Don't you know that as well?
All right, Aliyu, let's leave it there. I have to take other callers, please. Aliyu, I have to leave it there, my brother. I have to do justice to others, please. All right. But Benny Nayure has no dirty hands, he said. All right, let's hear from Asumana. Let's hear you, Asumana, quickly.
Hey, Anthony, thank you so much. You just said everything that was on mind, and just saying and laying out.
Right.
But what I have to say here is, Mr. Cummings should have embraced the justice system, so let Liberian people know that, let the law take its course. Exactly. Because if he's been talking about is for justice, he's the Muslim man, he's being accused, and the only way he can exonerate himself is to go to court. Exactly. So that Liberian people can know that what has been his accusation is false. Okay? So this just proves to me that Cummings is not ready for justice. He wants to elude justice, and when he's talking about justice every day, he has a hero in his camp that's always preaching justice. I think it should have been the best time to come to the Liberian people and tell them, okay, we are going to go through this and we will find out the truth so that Liberian people can know who is lying and who is saying the fact. Thank you. But coming out to say that it's nonsense and it will fire back, we really want to see that fire back. What's going to fire back? The second thing is that he did not condemn the division that Musa Belete has brought into the Liberty Party. Okay, one time he was coming to Liberia, they invited him to Liberty Party headquarters without giving the knowledge of the political leader. Okay, he did not condemn that. He accepted, the invitation. All those things, are not called for as a leader. So what Mr. Cummings should do is, he's not exonerated yet. He's on bail for now. We are watching to see how the court proceeding will go. Thank you, Asumana. A lot of calls, my brother. So you guys should bear with me today. Let's hear from. I think I have this person. So let's go by the order here. From caller from I think Massachusetts. 7037. That's you. Yeah, let's hear you. Your name and where you calling from.
My name is Alexander Peters. I'm calling you from Minnesota. How are you doing, young
Mr. Peter, I hear you quickly. You have a minute. A lot of calls, bro. Let's go.
Yeah. So to be frank, for me, I don't have a lot of people to say, but I would like to say Alexander Cummings. Actually, I had a passion for Cummings before, but right now, everything died for my system because he's not believing justice, he's not believing, working together, he's not believing things that we like doing.
What made you to say that Cummings does not believe in justice? He went to court today, right?
Alexander Cummings went to court, and then he never stand for justice. He went out signing criminal bond. He signed criminal bond in order to delay and slow the process.
But that's the legal system, right? That's what is required. That's how it's done, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. That's the legal system. I do agree. But let's go to what I was just about to say now, right? You see, Alexander Cummings, what I was expecting as unity, Alexander Cummings should agree to Joseph Norman Barker that they could come together. Joseph Barker has vast experience when it comes to the politics side. Alexander Cummings don't have.
Mr. Peters, Mr. Peters,
yes.
Mr. Peters, let us not use feelings, right? According to their framework, there will be something they call consensus. There will be another thing they call primary or convention. So that's what is in the framework. Why can't they go by that? It didn't say the other person got to be. It's not in their framework. What you're talking about is your feeling or the feeling of others because Walker is old, Walker been in government. There's no law that say to select a presidential candidate has to be the person. No, listen. Hold on. Let me land. Hold on. Let me give you more information. Obama was far younger than Joe Biden. Obama was in government for the very last time compared to Joe Biden. But Joe Biden agreed to go as vice president. And you are telling me the other way around. How is that the Bible? You are a Bible guy. Let me hear you conclude that.
Yeah, so for me, to be frank, what I gotta say, like Cummings say justice, whatever thing that have to be done with justice, we shouldn't delay that case. Let we hear from the court very soon. That case shouldn't be, delayed. It shouldn't go, backward. We want to hear from the court very soon. So if that thing for you to be prosecuted, you have to be prosecuted. And we want those things for like we don't want anything.
You trust the justice system, Mr. Peters?
I trust the justice system.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you. Let's hear from Desmond Finley. Mr. Finley, long time, good friend. Let's hear you.
Hello?
Mr. Finley, let's hear you quickly. Loud of calls, bro.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Go ahead, and everybody hearing you.
Yeah. I just want to ask you, I want your opinion on this because I got it so late. Who do you think is the beneficiary of all this thing that's happened as of today's incident? Who do you think benefit most?
Well, who does all this benefit most? That would be President Joshua. He's smiling, probably drinking champagne right now.
And maybe I didn't research it. Who do you think benefit most in the opposition?
Okay, the person that benefits most in the opposition, I don't know who has benefited most at this time. I think it hurts everybody in the opposition, especially those in the CPP. And I don't see how any of them benefit in any shape or form. Zero, none of them.
Okay, I'll go. Bye.
All right, thank you. Let's hear from this caller. Let me see. Let me do justice to folks here. That would be James David. Mr. David, let's hear you.
Yeah, my first problem, I'm gonna go with the first caller that called. He said, Cummings had a problem with the $30,000. I'm not sure Cummings just wanted to talk on that $30,000. How do you have a problem with the $30,000 when your party chairman took the $30,000? So I don't know when they're talking, what they call, did they talk to the party chairman to return the money? Did the party chairman return it? No. Then, like you did comparison between Obama and Joe Biden. The age of Obama at that time, the age of Joe Biden was not the same as the age of Joe Biden today. I'm sure Joe Biden served as vice president, and Biden never served as vice president before. Biden only served as senator. So you cannot compare both of them. They are not the same. Let's go to the other matter. Cummings say people they speak, she on them, she on the person. I think she should be on me too. Why do we go in collaboration with people who know that they get problem? Do we examine them? You should look at it. If the other person, then now you get problem. This person get problem. Then you go and sign people with them, you go in collaboration with them. So what you expect? And people are not looking at it. The Cummings supporter, let me give them a little advice. What I'm looking at, I don't know whether it will work or it will not work, but it will be like this. when you are involved in criminal offense, when you're accused of criminal activity, there's possibility of coming and even take by the election. They might drag you all the way there. When you're a criminal character, and you to go through criminal matter, they will say they get take by the election.
Thank you, Mr. David.
There's possibility.
Thank you, Mr. David. And
Yes.
to your previous point, right? And this is me being in the middle and trying to set the records straight. When Cummings spoke about that 30,000, he also said they should return the money, but the senators not going to listen to him. And then those people were elected, right? I mean, Cummings doesn't control them. Yeah, but that does not mean that they have to obey him. I mean, it is their right to do. All right, thank you. That's a fun point. Let's hear from the man, Josh Preston Lobo. Josh, it's good to have you, Mr. Lobo.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sieh, and I want to say thank you for this splendid discussion. We from the Unity Party, we are accustomed to these conversations. No matter what happens, we bear responsibility for everything that have been in opposition. So that's normal. But I just wanted to strike a few points, and Mr. Sieh, please, I want you to just elaborate on these questions for us. The fundamental problem here begins with one thing, with the letter that was sent to Senator John P. Kanga Lawrence by Mr. Ure that the CPP framework document that was submitted to NEC was altered, and that the signature page he did not sign. It was the signature page from May 19th. You've had this discussion on your platform. Can you please do us a favor, Mr. Sieh, because there are a lot of platforms out there with the intention to deceive the Liberian people, mislead our people. Based on what you've read, based on all the reports, the 3 documents you have read, do you believe, can you confirm to your people that at any point in time there were alterations made to the CPP framework document? Then I'll proceed.
George, I've been very clear. Let me learn. You asked me a question.
Go ahead.
I've been very clear. The document, the CPP document, there were changes made, multiple changes. Some of the changes that were made were mentioned by people in ANC. Some of them called them harmless changes, cosmetic changes. They talk about rearrangements of numbers. Even the report that was done talk about rearrangement, changes of numbers and all that. So those were changes. In my words, those were changes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sieh. Thank you very much. You and I live in the Western world. In the Western world, because you tell a lawyer to make a representation for you or to type up an agreement for you, until you affix your signature to that document, that does not mean you've agreed to the terms in that agreement. Is that fair? Is that a fair statement?
George, have you called on the show to interview me? Or you come to make your case?
Mr. Sieh, you do a very good job of educating our people.
I understand, but George, I'm not going to be interviewed. I'm not going to be interviewed. I'm not going to be interviewed. Make your case and let me take leave of you.
That's fine. Okay, I will proceed. Let me be clear.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Thank God. So here's what I wanted to say. We must not lose track of what happened here. I'm glad that you stated that the documents were altered, and we live in the Western world. Once you make changes to any legal document, until the parties involved sign or affix their signature to that particular document that was changed, that means he or she can say no to it. That is just normal. Because when we look at the charges that were brought before against Mr. Cummings, fraudulent is a serious crime. What I want to say to our folks is this: I will let the justice system play its part. You see, Mr. Sieh, the reason why I would not speak about the justice system in our country, they say time trial not for right alone.
I'm glad you know that.
Mr. Samokai have been in the court. Our ANC friends were calling him criminal. We allow a criminal to participate. We allow this and this and that. This is the justice system that compares to Mr. Samokai. And therefore, I will not speak to it. We hope that this justice system will be allowed to take its course. But here's what I would say. For Mr. Cummings, who wants to change the system, I think it is outrageous for him now to begin to condemn this very justice system. When you win the presidency, Mr. Cummings, bring the changes you want to bring.
Thank you, Josh.
Mr. Samoka, you did not say anything. Let me end on this real quick.
Yeah, Josh, you got to be very brief.
Okay, let me just end on this. The issue of why Mr. Boaka has not spoken and this and that. When Mr. Cummings walked out on Mr. Boaka at a meeting, I didn't hear ANC people say Mr. Cummings disrespected the dedicated public servant who gave 25 years of his life to public service when Mr. Cummings is yet to give 5 hours of his time. And ANC folks need to understand.
Josh, thank you. That is not a yardstick. That is not a yardstick for the presidency. Thank you.
When you want us to elaborate, that's a yardstick because you know what? You can't pick and choose what you want him to speak about.
Thank you.
Disrespect at a meeting, you didn't ask him to speak, and now you want him to speak. So he will speak when the time is right. Thank you, Mr. Sieh.
Thank you, Mr. George Lobo. All right, folks, let me bring in my final caller, I guess. Yes. Mr. William Jala. Let's hear you, Mr. Jala.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, for allowing me to speak.
You're welcome.
I want to begin by saying that, from the onset of the entire allegation against Cummings, and up to when an independent investigation, I understand, was set up to investigate the matter, to have it laid to rest. I'm not sure how far did that independent investigation. I'm not sure what was the resolution from that independent investigation. But I want to say that the point I'm trying to make here is that the failure to come out with an outcome of that investigation, that independent investigation, got us to where we are today. Got Mr. Cummings to where he is today. All right. It was just being trashed, trashed for some reason. The investigation did not go anywhere. There was no outcome of that investigation. And somebody fair agrees, all right? Somebody fair agrees and decided that the matter was not given the kind of attention it needed to be given. And so they wanted to go one step further. And that's exactly why we are here today. That Cummings is being, a writ of arrest was issued Cummings, and today he has to go to court. All right. So when we fail to do what is right, there are consequences. There are consequences, and we cannot hide from it. Hide from those consequences. We cannot flee from those consequences. All right.
Yeah, but Mr. Jala, Mr. Cummings said.
I believe you did not make the ultimate decision to go to court on a baseless claim.
Mr. Jala, I just wanted to ask you a simple question. Mr. Jala, I want to ask, Mr. Cummings said that Ure has made a serious mistake for going to court. Do you agree with him that the man made a mistake to take the matter to court?
No.
Okay.
No. Ure did not make any mistake. Ure is right to go to court. And that's the right way to do it. If you have a case against somebody, I think the best place to go is to go to the court to have it settled there.
Okay.
So Ure has a case against this man. Ure has alleged that this guy tampered with a framework document. All right, and he's yet to exonerate himself. He's yet to play himself. So why can Ure go to court? What is wrong with Ure going to court?
Thank you.
When he's seeking redress.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was our final caller there, Mr. William Jala. Folks, in cyberspace, we are almost at the end of this broadcast. I will take a short break. When I come back, I will read a few comments, very few of them, and then we will be calling it a day. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We're taking a very, very short break, and Focus on Liberia. We'll be right back. All right, folks, I'm right back with you. I will read a few comments. Today, we decided to give attention to more calls. Let's hear from Saint Father. He writes, Alexander Cummings claimed to have clean hands. Why join dirty hands people? Ure is 10 times mature in our Liberian politics than Alexander Cummings. Mr. Sieh, do you know the beginning of the entire CPP alteration saga came from the neck? Ure has credible sources that is working with neck. However, no one should underestimate Ure, he writes. Like you have from Seattle Thompson. Is she speaking to the issue? No, she's speaking to somebody. I want somebody who was speaking to me all the issues. Like you have from Alfred Dennis. Please, can you please try to invite Mr. Cummings on your show? I think he will refuse your invitation so we can hear the real story. Thanks for the good work, Mr. Ansony Sieh. Mr. Cummings had appeared as guest and focused on Liberia twice, but that is not enough for Ansony Sieh and focus on Liberia, especially when the issues now are pressing. We make recent efforts, but we've been told we're not going to get him now. And that is what his handlers said to us. Let's hear from Sam Wallow. Agree, color. Everyone pass the buck and kick the can down the road. Lots of comments about over 500 of them. I cannot get to all of them, but I will try my best. This is Mr. Port, and so be it. If Mr. Cummings doesn't participate in the election, it's Liberia to lose. Well, if Cummings doesn't participate, I don't see how Liberia, going to lose anything. There are many elections he did not participate. Liberia is still where he is. That sounds like somebody who is frustrated. I mean, Cummings has to be president at all costs, and Liberia will turn to what? A kumbaya country. Maybe it will be that shining city on the hill. The sedition told us that, and we'll see what's happening now. I'm not going to hear anything from anybody and think that's going to make it. No. Nobody should ever believe anything that comes from the mouths of the politicians. Until they can do it, don't believe it. Let's hear from Mr. Carter Jr. You are 100% right. President Weah and ruling CDC party are the only ones benefiting from the crisis. That is the answer I gave. I don't know what George Lobo is trying to do. He tried to pull your Unity Party talking points in my mouth. George, I'm too mature for that. Asking me questions then, because you want to use the authority and the, the integrity of the platform to champion your cause. And that is what you're trying to do, to ask me questions. You want to use my credibility to push your candidate? George, we are smarter than that. Junior brother, you know how we do it, yeah? Mr. Sieh, Ansony Sieh, you are the best, my brother. I just love the way you analyze things. Somebody say I'm the best. Some people say I am a dummy, and that's okay. And that's how to see it. Let's hear from Miss Dunbar here. Mr. Sieh, give callers a break, man. You are being rude, abrupt, and uncouth here. She's dealing with me. And I love when they deal with me in that way. That's the part that I love. And, keep dealing with me, William. I like that. Let's hear from Livingstone here. Fatih. Okay, let me leave that one. He's talking to somebody. That may not be directed at me. I will be taking a leave at you. I like the way Miss Dunbar dealt with me here. I don't know why you guys are afraid of me, man. Come and deal with me. I'm not the kind of guy who gets angry when people deal with me. I love it because I learn from it. But yeah, from Masaleh, none of them have a vision or plans to move this country forward when they are opposition, but only to come to power. And that's why when they get to power, they mess the country up so bad. I can feel that. But yeah, from Flomo. Mr. Cummings is going to be in this situation for a long run because the case is going to take more than a year before it comes to a conclusion. That person is prophesying like, which one of the prophets I should call? Prophet who? I don't know. I forgot the prophet's name. Sam Waller again. Cummings was pretty much left twisting in the wind at his post-born rally at his party headquarters today. His key supporters, people were not with him. This was odd. I thought I was the only one that saw that. Politics is brutal. This business, if you're not man and woman, don't come to it. Don't come crying to me and you think I'm going to shed tears for you. I don't shed tears. This is a business of man and woman. And my job is to tell you this thing is serious. This Dennis Josh will tell me this is a life and death situation we are fixing here. If you get it wrong, people will die. People are dying right now as we speak because of bad governance in our country. How you take insignificant amount of money and put it in the healthcare system, and you have hospitals and even schools in the leeward counties that are completely death traps, and you get huge volume of money to people who sit in Morovia. You are committing genocide. I'm trying to be very, very tough here. That is the death of the life and death situation Dennis Jai is talking about. For those who don't understand it, let me break it down for you. Mr. Ansony Sieh, I'm glad that ABC is not taking political or leadership advice from you. When the case is pending, leaders speak to their audience when decisions are final. In the case of Cummings, he will speak at the appropriate time. Appropriate time? Wait for the appropriate time. But maybe before that appropriate time comes, it might be too late for you. Oh, we all have different minds, and I understand that. Well, folks, I have to conclude it. I don't want to go more than the time I have gone already. Folks in cyberspace, focus on Liberia, the hour of politics. I brought you another edition. I know I don't always make everybody happy. Some days, some people like me, and some days, some people don't like me. Sometimes I come getting you angry. I do it for Liberia. For those who think I'm on the wrong side, I understand how you feel. It is because of where you stand. Maybe you are passionate about somebody. And I think that is not maybe. That is the case, really. Because if it were about my Liberia, your Liberia, you will know that I'm on your side. But because you have a side that is somebody other than our Liberia, you see things differently. And I can understand that. That is why even when you come at me, lashing at me, even though I learned some lessons from it, some of those things are true though, I don't get angry because you help me. But when I do it for your political leaders, you get angry. So you see, that's the irony. I don't get angry. I laugh with my wide open teeth if I should say that. But hey, let me get too personal. Dennis Job may not be happy. Folks, this is how we will come to the end of this, another edition of the Hour of Politics here, Focus on Liberia. I'm doing a little research. I understand Benny and Wilfred Ure had an interview with the BBC. I'm going to bring you another edition tomorrow like this one, so we can look into the mind of Benny and Ure and also look into his political closet. I heard it's dirty, it's nasty, there's a lot of ugly things in there. We can go into it head and talk some politics. This is 2022, the year before Liberia decides who becomes president. I will be here. We will talk it. And those who can stand the heat, then get out of the kitchen. Because there where the smokes come from, the smokes that are smoky Liberia, all made Liberia to get blind. And I can't sit here and let Liberia get blind because I love that Liberia. The son that closest us says we are all Liberians. That son is patriotic. It's nationalistic. Well, folks, all I brought you was analysis of Mr. Cummings' brief statement after his court appearance today. And this happened here at the Hour of Politics on Focus on Liberia, where we educate, elevate, and promote all things our dear country, Liberia. The sun, we are all Liberians, is taking us home right now. Until I catch you again with another fiery edition of the Hour of Politics, I say to you, I love you, especially those who criticize me, those who nail me, those who persecute me, those who hold me by my leg and my nose. I love you more than those who praise me. Bye-bye, folks.
We are Liberia. Liberia is our home.